Hey there, Heather Boyd Wire here.
Today we're making Celtic style earrings using the Artistic Wire Deluxe Jig Kit. We're going to need flush cutters, our flat pliers, we need the jig. We're using 20 gauge wire and some 6mm faceted glass beads. So set up your jig with the pegs and bring the wire starting at the bottom. Pull the wire around the pegs, and you can hold the wire against the peg so it won't slip up. And we're going to start at one side and then go over to the other side, and we're just doing the first 3 pegs and then bringing the other wire around from the right side so we have the knot formed. Just bring the wire back down because we're going to actually hold the wire below that top loop with our round pliers so we can pull the wire around. I know it's hard to see, but now you can see the wires have been pulled back on either side because we want these wires to curve up. So you can actually stick the top of a Sharpie there so you have something to guide that curve. So bring it around and then up to the top peg and bring it around that peg. Give it a good little tug. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. Just slide that Sharpie lid in there so you can form that curve, and then bring the wire to the left of the top peg and turn it around that peg. So we're forming 2 loops at the top that are going to sit one on top of the other for a cleaner finish. So now we're going to clip the ends flush on both of those loops. Just get those flush cutters in there. You can also do this with 18 gauge wire. It'll just be a little bit more solid, but the 20 gauge is good. It's easier to work with. And we just want to pinch in those pokey little ends, and then you can do any little adjustments that you need to fix the shape of the teardrop. So here is the simple version, and if you want to dangle a bead, we are going to add an extra loop. So again, starting at the bottom, we're going to bring the wire around, and then we're going to bring it around again. So we have the first couple of loops and then around again. So we'll start with those initial loops and then bring the other wire to the other side around. So now we have that initial formation, and then we're going to hold it with the red pliers. Again, these are fine round nose pliers just to get the wires out at the either side, and then just slide your cap of your Sharpie in there. And then what we're doing first is we're going to make a loop around that we can dangle a bead on. So we're going to make that little loop, full turn around, and then up to the upper loop. So we have a kind of infinity sign. So once we have that, we're going to form the curve on the other side of the teardrop and bring it around, and then above the under loop and around the top loop. So we don't want to form 2 loops with this wire, just the top loop. So now we can remove it from the jig, and we can cut our ends with the flush cutters, and we're going to get the other side, get right in there with the flush cutters. These are the Xuron flush cutters. And then we need to just push in those little pokey ends and do any little adjustments that we need. These are the Xuron tweezer nose pliers. I'll link up all my tools in the description below the video, and just go through and do any little adjustments. You need the top loops to be one superimposed on top of the other. Now if you want, you can hammer it lightly just to strengthen it a little bit. This is optional depending on your wire. Be careful not to hammer too hard because there are overlapping pieces. So this is the rawhide mallet. You can use a plastic mallet just to kind of straighten it up a little bit. Make sure those loops are overlapping because you're going to put the hook through that top loop. Now to dangle the bead, we're just taking a piece of the 20 gauge wire. You just need a couple of inches. You can use a head pin if you prefer, if you don't want that little loop at the bottom. Make the loop as small as you can and then slide on a 6mm faceted glass bead and clip the end to about 3/8 to 1/2 inch. Get your round pliers, bring it back and around to make the loop. Adjust it so the loop is centered, and then we're going to slide it onto that lower loop and close it up. Use your tweezer nose pliers to really close up that gap. You can make your own hooks. I'll link up a video below in the description, and then we are going to attach the hook on there, close it up, and there you have your teardrop earrings with the dangling beads.
So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more wire art and jewelry making videos. And if you'd like to share photos of your wire art and jewelry, be sure to join the Wire Makers Club on Facebook. And if you'd like to check out my work on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. I also have a mailing list, so if you'd like to sign up below, I'll send you my Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you the next time.